here again. Good. Let's cut through the noise for a minute. I want you to try something. Think back. When was the last time you felt a real, uncomplicated, unprompted connection with a complete stranger? Not pity, not transactional politeness, a genuine spark of shared humanity. That feeling when your eyes meet someone else's across a crowded bus and you share a silent, mutual understanding of the absurdity of it all. Hard to pin one down, isn't it? That feeling is becoming an endangered species, and it's not dying of natural causes, it's being hunted. You've been led to believe that empathy is a soft skill, a nice to have, a fuzzy, warm emotion. That's a lie. Empathy is a weapon. It's the immune system of a healthy society. It's the tripwire that alerts us when one of our own is in danger, and the system we live in has identified it as a primary threat. So it has launched a project, a silent, undeclared war. The connection kill switch. The goal is simple: to sever the connections between us, to grind down our collective compassion until we are nothing more than a collection of isolated, anxious, competing souls. Because an isolated soul is a controllable soul. The primary battlefield is that glowing rectangle in your hand. It was sold to you as a tool for connection, wasn't it? A way to bridge distances and bring us all closer together. But its true function is to be a wedge. It's a performative space, not a connective one. You're not sharing your life. You're curating your brand. You're not having a conversation. You're managing your public relations. It creates a planet of 7 billion main characters, each one the star of their own meticulously edited movie, where everyone else is just an NPC, a side character, or worse, an antagonist. The machine works by flattening people. It reduces a complex, messy, contradictory human being into a profile picture, a political bio, and a handful of problematic posts. It's incredibly easy to hate a JPEG. It's easy to feel disgust and fury towards a disembodied opinion. It's much harder to hate a person whose face is right in front of you, whose voice you can hear. They are deliberately replacing high-definition humanity with low-resolution caricatures, because caricatures are easier to despise. Then they pour gasoline on the fire with the outrage machine. They keep you in a state of perpetual low-grade fury, constantly jacked up on a cocktail of fear and adrenaline. And that state is the biological enemy of empathy. When your brain is in fight or flight mode, it literally shuts down the centers responsible for nuanced, compassionate, long-term thinking. You can't feel for someone when you're terrified of them. You can't connect with an enemy, so the system feeds you an endless supply of enemies. It directs your emotional bandwidth towards hating abstract groups, distant concepts, and political strawmen. It's a strategic misdirection. While you're busy hating a caricature online, you're ignoring the real, suffering human being sitting right next to you. Of course, they had to monetize it. They couldn't leave a single corner of human interaction untainted by the market. Dating apps turned potential partners into a deck of cards, a meat market where you swipe and discard human beings based on a few flattering photos and a witty bio. Professional networking turns relationships into transactional opportunities, a ladder to be climbed, where every handshake has a potential ROI. Even charity and compassion are branded and gamified. Spontaneous, unmonetized human kindness is a threat to a system that needs to put a price tag on everything. It represents a market failure, and they are working to engineer it out of existence. The final stage is normalization. They want to make cruelty boring. They broadcast a constant stream of suffering into your feed. A homeless person shivering on the street, a family bombed in a distant country, a species going extinct. At first, it shocks you, then it saddens you, and finally, it's just more media. It becomes background noise. You are being deliberately, systematically desensitized, trained to scroll past misery, trained to step over the suffering person on your way to buy a coffee. Once you've been trained to sever that empathetic link, to accept that some people's suffering is simply not your problem, the project is complete. You have accepted the fundamental premise of the system. Some people are disposable. And why? Why this elaborate, soul-crushing project? Because a society that feels for each other is a society that stands up for each other. Empathy is the glue of community. Community is the foundation of power. Solidarity is what they truly fear. They need us atomized. They need us bickering in our digital bubbles, suspicious of our neighbors, terrified of strangers. An army of lonely, anxious individuals is no army at all. It's just a target market. It's a herd that can be easily managed. So you have to fight back. You must turn empathy into an act of rebellion. Practice empathetic insurgency. Look people in the eye. Put the fucking phone away and listen when someone is talking. Listen without planning your response. Listen to understand. Log off and log into your immediate physical community. Talk to the person who makes your coffee. Learn the name of your mail carrier. Perform small, anonymous, untraceable acts of kindness. This is untaxable. This is unmarketable. This is real. Refuse to hate the caricature. Force yourself to see the flawed, scared, hopeful human behind the profile. This is the hardest part. It is also crucial. They want you numb. They want you isolated. They want you to be an island. Be the ocean.